This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
A lot of you guys really liked my last things to do when you're bored video, so I've decided to share some more ideas of creative things to do when you're bored. A round 2 of sorts. If you're still bored after doing all of Moriah Elizabeth's suggestions and after watching my last video, then you need help. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out today. Give you some more fun, artsy ideas of things to do when you're bored. I did try to limit myself to things that you guys probably already have at home, or at least are very affordable. I feel like most people probably have corks laying around their place. I don't. So I actually ended up getting a jar of these at Michael's. I picked these up because I thought it would be cool to make characters out of corks. Little cork people. How cute. This cork is gonna be a bear, but not just any bear. He's gonna be my favorite bear, Smelly. Hence the ice cream cone on his head. I picked this cone out of a collection of little pink resin charms I have laying around. Adding the beads actually made it so that Smelly can no longer stand, which is unfortunate. We don't need to dwell on that though.
We can all move on.
So Smelly's a hideous and mean and grumpy pink bear. And he smells like turds. I'm not too concerned about painting it perfectly around his head because it's gonna be covered in ice cream anyways. I tried going over the lines on the cones with a darker brown. Some touch-ups will be necessary, but overall it was easier to paint the lines this way because they're already indented. It was just kinda like dry brushing them on with Posca pen. I sketched them out and then went over all the details in Posca. I thought these cork characters might be a little challenging to do, but actually they're pretty easy. The paint sticks to the cork pretty well, and even though it's a tiny surface area, I didn't have a hard time painting details on him. I added some chocolate to his cone since it's a chocolate dipped cone, and a bunch of ice cream drizzled all over his face. That's not the only cork character I made. This one's my arch nemesis, the screaming toddler with space buns.
Oh, the horror.
I like to go with a creepy, black and white horror kind of vibe for her. It's just how she makes me feel. A miserable time for everyone. For her, I'm also going to be using some floral wire. I first stabbed the cork with a pin, trying to create a little opening to jam the floral wire into. These are basically supposed to be her arms. In one of her arms, she's even carrying a little accessory, a tiny teddy bear.
So cute.
It's another one of those pink resin charms. Really trying to make use of them. I don't know what else I'll ever even use these for. I don't know. I didn't glue the teddy bear to her. I wanted it to be removable in case I want to change her accessories from time to time. Just thinking ahead. I also decided to add some legs with floral wire, which might hinder her standing abilities. I already have one cork character falling over all the time. I don't need another with stability issues, so I'm really trying to make this work. She's not perfect. She does have slight leaning tendencies. But hey, that's not bad. I decided to make one last cork character. He's a chef. An evil chef, of course. Definitely not just a normal chef.
The real deal.
You can tell he's a professional. He's got the whole chef coat on and everything. He's also got one of those fancy bushy mustaches. He likes to twirl it around with his fingers while coming up with evil pasta recipes. That's not what makes him evil though. I'll get to that part in a bit. Patience. Speaking of patience, I hope you guys have the patience to bear with me. Squarespace is a platform that you use to build your very own professional website. It's super easy. They have roughly like a bajillion customizable templates. You just choose one you like, insert your stuff, and yeah, then you have your website. Easy. You can even use it as an online store to sell your art or whatever you want really. Literally anything. Squarespace has all the tools to help you grow your business online. And if you ever run into any questions, they have 24/7 customer support, which is very helpful, especially for people like me. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/graveyardloon to save 10% off your first website or domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Like the screaming toddler, he also has floral wire appendages. He's not going to be falling over or leaning or anything like that. He's actually going to be sitting. I chose a safe option for this one. Wanted a pose I couldn't possibly get wrong. He does have a chef's hat. The cork has some holes in it, which I actually like. It adds some texture. I think it works. It does the job. It looks kinda worn, like he's been cooking a lot of pasta. So this Italian chef is evil because he cooks everything in ragu sauce. Gross. An Italian chef who cooks with ragu. Can't get much more evil or disgusting than that. I mean, come on. I made his tiny recipe book myself. Took me a couple tries to write this small. I'm very proud of it. My finest work. For my next thing to do when you're bored, I picked out a bottle. This one has a cork in it, plus it kinda looks like what I'd imagine a potion bottle to look like. It also has some flat sides, so I figured it would be easier to customize. Anyways, I then took some clear Elmer's glue. I was gonna squeeze it the normal way, but then I realized I'm gonna need quite a bit of glue. I don't really know exact measurements. I don't think it matters. I just poured in a good amount. Wow, it looks... So here's some of my glitter. I've been hiding my stash. I'm a little ashamed of it. I poured in the glitter. Lots of glitter. Way more glitter than I need. A sparkle butt amount of glitter. I don't know what came over me.
Sick freak.
Then I filled the rest of the bottle up with water. This is supposed to be a mind jar. Wow. It's supposed to help with stress and anxiety. It's supposed to have a calming effect. It doesn't really affect me in that way, but you know, maybe this'll help you calm down. No promises. It was swirling and stuff. It was okay. I think I might have added too much glitter, so I dumped some glitter out and worked on my ratio a bit until I was happy with it. I think it works better now. A lot less glitter and a lot more water. I'm not done with it yet though. Sniffledorf has been waking up every night at 2 a.m. for like 2 months now, so I like to imagine it's Kitty ZQuil to help me get through the night. Obviously, I would never actually give this to him. I just thought it was kind of funny given my circumstances. For my next thing to do when you're bored, I pulled out a bunch of crayons. I got this pack of 48 crayons at the dollar store. I got a bowl of water and I'm just letting the crayons sit in there for a few minutes. It helps get the wrappings of the crayons off a lot easier so I don't have to sit here and peel them off one by one for the next hour. I roughly organized the crayons into some sort of color scheme. Next thing I need is a silicone mold. I got these cute little evil robots. I was a little scared that this craft might not work because the robots are so detailed. They have all these little buttons, springs, gears, and boot bops. But we'll see. I'm cutting up the crayons and filling these molds. I could have just gone with one solid color, but I figured that would be too predictable. Not as exciting. I normally don't like tie-dye, but I guess I was in a tie-dye kind of mood today. So I put an assortment of colors in each robot. I'm kinda overfilling them because once they're all melted, the crayons will all sink into there. At least that's what it's supposed to do. They look so colorful and pretty. Really hoping they stay that way. I'm gonna start this off at 200 degrees. They didn't melt at all, not even a little bit, so I'm adding another 15 minutes. Okay, so apparently the crayons don't melt at 200 degrees, so I cranked it up to 300. And that worked way better.
They're so pretty. Oh my god, except for that one.
I shoved them into the freezer and waited like an hour. They came out looking so good. I was really scared to unmold them. I'm not the best on molder. I heard snapping, and it's really sticking in there. I really just want this to work. I want something to show.
Oh! Yay!
I guess that was my way of celebrating. I honestly was like really surprised. That worked really, really well. Now I just have 14 more to unmold. Little tiny robot crayons. How cute. You could go in with a tiny paintbrush and add in some more color, but I'm happy with this whole tie-dye robot situation.
Gold star for me.
Now I've got my own little evil tie-dye robot army. Wait, is that Tinky Winky?
If you're still bored, I don't blame you. Click on the next video. Maybe that'll help. Probably not. Just click on it. Help me out here.